Hey, what's good, barbecue family? It's your boy Joe Mill here, back with Killer Miller Q, and today it's hot, and I'm in the mood to jump in this pool, and I want me a thick cut pork chop to go with it. So we're gonna jump right on that Weber, and we're gonna get right to it. Let's cut the music and let's get back to work, shall we? So this is one of them things you probably done seen in Costco and didn't know what the hell to do with it. Giant piece of meat, boneless pork loin here. This is an old one that I got, put it in the freezer as soon as I got it. Whenever I see good deals, sometimes I like to grab it and way ahead of time. So $17 for 7.3 pounds of pork. This is lean, this is clean. This is gonna be ready to rock. Today, what I'm gonna do, instead of doing an actual pork loin roast, maybe I might save. We'll see how I feel once I see it, once it's out the packet. But I'm in the mood for a thick cut pork chop. So what I'm about to do is we're gonna be making some nice thick inch and a half chops out of this that we're gonna get on over there on the Weber, and we'll get this thing kind of smoked out and loked out. Let me get this out the package, cleaned up, and then we'll start chopping. So we got it out the package. You can kind of see what this whole thing looks like. I did decide to go ahead and keep me a nice little roast. One thing I did, I was pretty lucky, and sometimes it's tough to tell when you're in the package. A lot of times it might tailor off into getting real small. Obviously all of that's gonna cook differently if you kept it together. But if you look, this area here, it's about even all the way through, nice and solid. I mean, I don't need that many pork chops for the day, but that'll be a nice solid roast, a whole other meal for me. So I'm gonna hurry up, get that frozen right back down. And then these are my thick cut chops here. You can see it got a little smaller at the end, but try to keep them more or less nice and thick, nice inch on there. There is a little bit of fat, a little silver skin, but I'm not too worried about that. As you kind of look at this pork loin, this is the chicken breast, shall we say, of the rest of this thing. There is not a whole lot of fat in here. Obviously it's pork, so you still got a lot of that intramuscular in there, and you also got more sodium than normal. But overall, these are actually not that bad. You know what I mean? It's a lot of protein in there. There is way more sodium than I choose, but so I'm not going to compare it to the chicken or the fish or something like that, but it is pretty lean. It does have a good protein quality, and today, this is what we're going to be working with. So there go my chops. Let me get this roast up out of here, and I'll be right back. All right, got rid of the bigger portion of that loin. So what we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a baby 6. Pork chops here, nice and thick, roughly a pound, inch and a half, whatever. I didn't really necessarily check them out or nothing like that, but try to keep more or less even. This is the rub that I'm gonna go with. As you can see, it is not new. It's one that I've had before. I like, got a good barbecue flavor, decent amount of salt on there. University of the Q. This is the quad all-purpose rub. Like I said, it's got some sweet, but it does have a lot more savoriness, some good color to it. We're not gonna use no binder, no nothing. I got a little bit of time, haven't even got my fire together, so I'm just gonna season these babies up all the way around, more or less top and bottom, and then what I'll do is I'll roll around and get the sides together. All right, we got these puppies all seasoned up, nothing too crazy. They are thick pieces of meat. I would advise going with a rub that doesn't have so much salt, because again, pork does have a decent amount of sodium, but I know you do got to get it to the point where you can taste it, and make sure that it's a flavor that you enjoy. So for me, these are gonna sit up just like you see. I'm gonna throw these back in the fridge, and we'll get the fire together. So we got these babies on. They got a chance to sweat out a minute, and obviously this rub and set up nice and pretty. We're gonna let these babies hang out, like being able to get them coals in the middle. I threw a little bit of cherry wood in there. I let that kind of burn. It's almost gone, truthfully. So I'll probably come in there with another piece of that here in a second. Let it kind of hang out. But this is how we're gonna roll with it in this minion more or less method. But we'll see what we got. All right, we're gonna keep this video short and simple. More than less, I just was in here a minute ago. We were sitting roughly at almost 275-ish. You keep in mind that's gonna be up top towards where your thermometer is. Somewhere up in there, there we go. On the grade level, you might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower, one way or another. I did take the temperature, and I'm sitting at about 140-ish on each one of these puppies that you see here, which isn't too bad. We only need to get to 145. Back in the day, I was doing 165, so you got some room to play. I'm about to put a little bit of glaze on these, get a little bit of a sear first, And then after that, we'll get them up off of here. We'll get us a little bit of a taste. We back up to purring. Got that cherry wood over there. Woo, smoking up the joint. But this is what we're gonna do. We coming back to Capital City, a little bit of that mambo sauce. This is the mild version. With that said, it's got a little bit of kick. We're gonna get a little bit of color on these babies and stuff for this little daddy. That's gonna be my sacrificial lamb. And then we'll kind of go from there. Hey team, I want to jump in here real quick and let you know thanks for following along on today's cook. If you're new to the channel, go to the bottom right corner, make sure you subscribe, check out any videos you've missed, and if you haven't done it already, find me on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. Okay, man, I tell you, this smells absolutely amazing over here. We got some mambo sauce on 3 of these thick chops. This cherry wood is coming through. Also sublime, you can definitely smell that. As you see, a fresh block is on there. I'm gonna let this kind of hang out for a little bit, let those continue to enjoy a little bit of this base, and we'll get everybody off of here roughly around 150-ish, 155. Hey man, we having us a good time out here. Another good pool day. Blessed to be blessed, you know what I'm saying? These babies have been sitting out here easy 10, 12 minutes, something like that. Got them regular daddies sitting over there too. That's gonna probably be my little sacrificial homie because he's small and I like the way he already got a little bit more of the char on him. Barbecue sauce on these is gonna be good with that mambo sauce, but you know what we're gonna do? Let's get them off this grill. I can't be mad. Close this thing down. I'm gonna save the rest of them coals, the rest of that cherry chunk for another day. If I could tell y'all to show up and getting off this Billie Jean right now, my little baby, it would be monumental. But we're gonna pull these babies up off of here. They done had a good little bit to sit here and enjoy some of this heat, and it's about time for us to get us a couple slices. Up close and in personal. You're pulling them babies up off of there. We got a couple that's unsauced. We got a couple that's got some sauce. We're gonna let these hang out for a little bit. I cut into this little daddy and maybe a little bit with this sauce, and we'll go ahead from there. All right, here all these babies go right here. We got that mambo sauce down here at the bottom. These babies at the top is just pretty much basic with a little bit of that University Q, all-purpose Q sauce, barbecue sauce seasoning more or less. Let's get a taste of this little daddy that I already been planned on tasting on, and I would definitely get in here and get a little bit of that sauce. All right, we got this thing sliced up now. Nice little piece right here. Good bit of smoke in there. This just smells amazing. Yes, there we go. I'm so happy after the time. I'm gonna eat with my mouth full and everything else. This is great right here. Man, I'm telling you, it's a lot of flavor in this thing right here. That's rub is everything you need, but that cowboy chunk is coming through with a whole lot of flavor and the smoke that I need. At the end of the day, you can see how this look. We're a little bit past 145, but still nice and juicy. The piece with that barbecue sauce is ridiculous.
And that's a wrap. It's still super bright out here. I'm still squinting, but we got that cook done in probably a little bit less than an hour at the end of the day. Keep in mind with your pork, as long as you get it to 145, you're good. Me personally, that's still a little more flappy than I like personally, but you got all the way up to that old good old-fashioned 165 that we used to cook it at years ago to still get it right. So usually once I get around that 140-ish, 145 time, that's usually when I'm gonna throw on my sauce, give it that last little bit of time. And I'll also keep in mind, for me, a lot of times I'm using these and bringing them back, using it during the week or something like that. So if you do gotta reheat, maybe you stay and you cook a little bit under, knowing that you're gonna be kind of picking it up a little bit later so you don't actually dry it completely out. But overall, that was great. The big takeaway, because that's a super easy cook, and this is a quick video, so we're gonna keep it like that. But my big takeaway from all of that is a reminder, less than $20 I was able to get that whole pork loin, versus you think about how much you pay buying individual pork chops in the store. Thick cut pork chop, or a thick cut pork chop, is a hell of a lot better than a lot of people give it credit for. Man, they hold a lot of flavor in there. At the end of the day, you really didn't have a whole lot of fat, so it really wasn't a whole lot of waste. And I was able to still put together a bunch of extra chops that I threw to the side, but still put together a loin that I was able to kind of put in the freezer and bring back. Another good one for your buck. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get up out of here, but I appreciate you watching. Shouts out to my family and all my boys over there at Black Smoke Barbecue. And like I always say, you out there at TV land for coming and seeing me today, but I'm gonna catch you in a little bit. Peace.